Menu podcast is sponsored by Realistic Comic Books. realcomicbooks.com.
Yeah, look at that. This might be the last time you see this fucking face on this damn show after that debacle. Jesus. This is reason why. Well, listen, guys. I'm not going to get into it. I could be screaming at the clouds like Grandpa Simpson. Hot damn it. Restream. So you know what this is, man? This is the last show of this Comic Menu podcast. That's right. It's going to be kaputs. Gone. That's it. It's kind of bittersweet, but I'll be announcing some stuff coming up middle of the show. Why not? Wait for some more idiots to jump. I mean, some more people to jump on, and watch me and the rest of the guys. But you know what? We got quite a show. I brought some people on I haven't had in a long time, and it kind of fits to be on the last show. They're going to join me on this. So let's go ahead and just, without further ado, where is he? The best color man in the business. Oh, my little Habibi.
What's up, brother?
There
I like
he
your
is.
Doom shirt.
Yeah, the Doom. Look at that.
I like it.
I just found today was comic superhero day, actually. So I don't know if you know that or not.
Perfect. There you go.
Yeah. All right, then we have Mr. Dorf. How you doing, Dorf? It's been a while.
Nice
All
to see
right.
everyone again, or be seen.
Then we have my brother from another color, Ish. Look at that.
There he is.
There he is. And did someone drop off? What happened to Dale? Then we have Efren, Savage Comics. There he is.
What up?
And then Robert, Mr. Olive from Superior Stands. And we had another guy, but I don't know. He just disappeared. We have Dale Altman, who eventually, I don't know, he'll jump on again. He's one of the stars of the show. Super talented. Not saying that you all are not talented, but he actually is pretty talented. You know,
Not at
Efren
all.
can draw. Efren can draw a little bit.
Stick figures with large penises.
I can barely write my name.
I'm talented.
You're talented in other ways, my friend,
Many other
because
ways.
you're a pretty good writer. And Dorf is talented with that beard. Dan is just Dan.
No talent.
Not one. He doesn't. That fucker doesn't have an ounce of talent whatsoever.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, Dan's basically just a mummified corpse of a body every Tuesday. So let's talk about some stuff, man. There's a lot of exclusives going around. I think I have never seen a year, maybe last year, so many people dropping exclusives. And I know that there he is. Let's bring this guy in. Talk about exclusives.
There we go.
Cover artist. There you are.
That was me crap, man.
Yeah, it was giving you crap.
Told me I'm not a real boy.
That's all right.
Want to be a real boy.
Now I'm contemplating letting you back into the show.
Just
Listen,
pedal,
boy.
pedal
You
over
are
here.
gay. Where are you gay?
So exclusives. Is it me, or it seems like there's just so many exclusives dropping in one of them? One of the reasons I think is that there's so many talented artists out there to showcase their work on these exclusives. I mean, it's crazy how many are dropping. I know Robert, you and Efren are dropping a lot, right? You guys are dropping constantly with Deo. We saw Deo. There's Sam right there. Now we got a full house. We saw Deo at MegaCon. He was drawing live there on all the platforms and making fans and making the ladies squirm with this good lookingness. But I gotta tell you, how much work is it? And this is gonna go to actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, everyone here, other than Dan and myself and Dale, who is part of it, has not dropped an exclusive. Everyone here has dropped an exclusive. So this is going to go out to the group. Let me ask this question first. Are there times after you drop the exclusive, you think to yourself, yeah, I don't know if we should have done that?
Every time. Oh yeah.
I have one coming out that I feel that way about, and my first exclusives that I ever did, I didn't even do it because I wanted to do them. I did it because it was just the artist's vision. They wanted to do it, so I just was like, okay, I'll fund it. You know what I mean? You know, and the first two that, you know, I just have boxes of at the shop because I'd never even pushed it. I just kind of did it because, you know, Nick Elcorndale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the Red Room, and I did Maniac in New York with Nick because he just, you know, he was just passionate about it. He wanted to do them. He needed someone to fund them, so I just did it. You know what I mean? I wasn't crazy about them. I'm very picky. For me, it has to be the right exclusive, which is why I just don't churn them out. I prefer it to be a key book or, you know, the first issue. Like, I'm very, very picky on, and as Caesar would tell you, I'm also really high on input when it comes to a certain vision. So I don't just churn them out, which, you know, I don't have any problem with people who does. But yeah, I'm doing one for Absolute Catwoman that I'm not really sure about, but I'm doing it with 3 other people, and so I didn't have the type of input that I would like. So
what about the other guys, Sam and the dynamic duo and Dorf? I mean, there's times. Is it you feel that way while you're in the middle of the process, or is it the minute it hits you kind of go, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, or
Well,
it's
I mean, we've done 17 exclusives in the past year. We're in the black on probably 95% of them, which we're really proud of. We're picky. we haven't been cranking them out, but 17
Mhm.
is a lot within our first year
Yeah.
of doing it. I can tell you that there were books that, you know, when you have more input on the art and you have a really great relationship with the artist and you can see the concept coming to life and, you know, they're going back and forth with you, you feel really good about it. And you're just like, yeah, this is going to absolutely kill it, you know? But as we've grown, we've taken on, you know, partnership with DC, and we have 2 absolute Batmans under our belt right now, and a Zatanna #1, with more books coming. And I'll tell you, not being able to directly speak with an artist and give input on the direction, it is so nerve-wracking. And then when you see the final art, you're like, oh, okay. Like, this is either great, or I can only imagine if you're on the other side of that and you get your art and you're like, oh, shoot, how am I going to market this? Because
I
you
get
really
it.
don't have much input to the artist at all.
Like I got the final art from my absolute Catwoman, and it's really great, but I wouldn't buy it. Like I wouldn't buy that exclusive if someone was selling it. But it's
Ah.
actually it's
That's
really
the
great.
toughest part.
But
You know?
I wouldn't buy it. You know what I mean? And so,
So-
for me, like the one we just showed, My Exquisite Corpses, that's the first exclusive I did where, you know, Kevin and I sat down. It was something we created back in 2021. So we knew what we wanted, and when we were done, I already it was like to me one of the greatest things I've ever done. It's the only exclusive I can say that about. You know what I mean? That we really conceived that cover for. We did it for what was that stupid rabbit book from Aftershock?
A bunny mask?
Bunny Mask is what we were going to do it for, and it never came about. And then Exquisite Corpses #6 came, and it was like, hey, let's do that. Let's let's do the serial, the trick serial. And so it was, you know, but that was the only one of the 5 or 6 I've done. The thing with Sam, really quick, because I want everyone to get to round robin, but the thing with you, Sam, and Sam obviously can take this with a grain of salt because we're family. I'm glad Caesar put himself at the bottom because we're family. You know, Sam has done 17 exclusives, and you have the luxury of, you know, and I don't want to knock your group because, you know, I'm very cool with Don and I like the people in your group, but you're dealing with a lot of people and a lot of minds, and they kind of have the luxury of having your mind, right? Like doing it Explicit Courses #1, which was a big hit, like really great, and then using Sveta and some of the choices that you make. Most of the choices y'all make are really good. Some to me are questionable. Like, okay, well, why did y'all do this one? You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, well, this is what happens when you're dealing with 4 or 5 people.
When you have a collective of
when
people
you have a
that you're
collective,
working
you know
with.
what I mean? But you know,
let me ask a question if I could, just real quick. You know, just kind of piggybacking off Sam's comment about the 95% in the black. And you know, this is really for anybody, Efren or Robert or anybody that does exclusives, Dorf, you know, anybody. But you know, I'm a fan of exclusives. I love different covers. You know, I think it adds variety and it kind of, you know, helps kind of create a buzz and excitement for a book. How do you feel though? How do you balance the need to obviously make a profit and make this worthwhile and lucrative to keep doing it? And how do you compare the way you guys operate to say like what happened recently with like the whole Dan Quintana heavy mental absolute Batman debacle that sort of happened, like, you know, that where they were, it just felt like kind of like a cash grab. Like how do you balance that? And that's really for anybody that's done an exclusive, but you know,
we don't deal in that. You know,
what do you
we
mean?
put our books out at a certain cost. We make them available at a specific print run. All the treatments are transparent right in front of you. We're not going to hold anything back, and nothing against anyone who does anything different, right? But switching from 4 guys who bought exclusives for forever, helped a couple different shops design exclusives throughout the years and find success, we said, how would we run it? And then we set out to do it, right? So we don't say like, hey, we're going to drop, you know, this Sveta, and then 9 months from now, we're going to drop a foil of it. You know, we're going to do 1,000 trade, 1,000 virgin, and then they're going to be available for X amount of cost, right? We're going to hold back however many for damages.
So
and
not
that's
a favor of the dynamic pricing model, like $1 starts, creating the hype, getting these books up to like $1,000. I mean, it was getting crazy. So
No, I mean, and to each their own, right? If they can do it, and if artists can make their money, sure. Like that's just not what model I'm gonna run, and we're gonna run. You know, no matter how big we got, too. Like I just don't think that's in the cards for us.
And there's a financial, depending on, I don't know what certain people's finances are, but there's a financial, obligation, especially like with me, for instance, right? Like I have one, I don't want to compete with myself. Two, I want to make sure the artist is taken care of. And then financially, right? Like, so you kind of want your exclusive to fund your next exclusive, right? You don't want to keep going into your pocket, right? You want to be able to take whatever you can and roll it over into the next exclusive that you're going to do.
It's like flipping a house. You flip it and you put that money into their next flip, right?
Right.
I mean, that's
So I operate at a loss off the first exclusive because all profit is going to go to set up the next exclusive, right? So like one of my methods is I'm not going to compete with myself, right? Because then you get into what Dan is kind of referring to, right? If I compete with myself, that means I do a trade dress and a virgin, right? Well, I think all number one should be a trade dress. People should be able to identify what the book is when it's the first issue, right? So I personally think that's my personal model. So when Kevin and I sat down and I said, Kevin, we're going to sell our exclusives for $25 no matter what they are. We're only going to do trade dresses, but we're going to just $25. We're never going to go higher. We're never going to go lower. Kevin was kind of apprehensive about that. And I said, hey, we are going to put our name on something that stands for something that's quality. So we can ask for $25, but we're not going to go higher than that, right? We're not auctioning them off like the Quintana, and we're not going to do any of that. So, and I'm saying this for a reason, right? Like with my Exquisite Corpses, when Rascal Randy comes out, I'm no longer selling that book at $25, but because I operate in full transparency for a year, I gave it to everybody for $20. I sold it to retailers for like $10. You know what I mean? Like yeah. I did everything possible. I was very transparent. People know the print run. I'm always transparent. Comic Sense is always transparent. People know the print run. They know how many we had. We did a pre-sale of the actual book, the 1 in 50s of issue number 6, and we gave a copy with everyone who bought the pre-sale. We gave a copy of the exclusive.
Yeah.
Like we did everything possible. So when Rascal Randy number 1 comes out and people are calling my book rare, I'm not going to put it on the market for $25. I'm going to upcharge. I'm going to now make money off of the, you know what I mean? Off of the back stock that I have. But I don't feel like I'm doing something bad by doing that because I gave with 500 copies
a year ago.
It came out a year ago. It's number 6.
Efren, Robert, Dorf, what do you think? I mean,
so I'm in a different circumstance than any of you guys. I literally just launched officially my business in November. So I've done 2 exclusives, and the second one hasn't dropped yet. The second one is for a signing that's happening at my spot in June.
What is it?
Absolutely.
So we have Jake the Snake Roberts coming in to do a signing.
My favorite wrestler of all time.
That's amazing.
My all-time favorite wrestler.
June 13th, he's doing a signing at Mid-Islands Collectibles in the Hicksville Mall. I have a booth within that space, and it is a joint exclusive between myself and the shop itself. And he's coming in and doing a signing. So we did an exclusive. We had Kyle Willis do the art, and books are ready. The books are in-house, but we haven't launched them because they're dropping for the signing.
I cannot wait to see it, and I cannot wait to buy one because that's amazing. I love Jake the Snake. I asked him to do
absolutely
he said
share a tease with you guys behind the scenes. But I did the exclusive for 2 reasons. One, Kyle Willis and I are good friends. We have been for years. I love his work, always have. And I wanted an exclusive that can be another avenue to get my name and my business out there. And I'm trying my best to do it with that. But people who know me on Facebook, they've seen me here. I'm still a very, very small fish in a big pond.
Yep.
So I wanted to do something. First of all, I can't do a 3,000 book run. So it wasn't going to be a Marvel thing. It wasn't going to be a 1,500 book run. It wasn't going to be a DC thing. So I went a different way. And I need to be in the black. And I'm nowhere near that because I'm so new and everything is just trying to fight my way upstream.
I want to.
Our gatekeeping. I'm going to be real with you. It's very hard to get your. You could do the dopest exclusive, and because you're just the Dwarf Knight. I mean, key collector, you're gonna have to bend over backwards for them to even acknowledge that you have an exclusive. Like seriously, it's such a gatekeeping community where like the big names and the people who do exclusives for cons or what have you are the people who get noticed and who get not I don't know how to say recognition because it's not the right word, just any type of credit for doing an exclusive. I had my whole community went behind my back and just pounded on key collector's door just to make them acknowledge that I had an escape exclusive. And Daniel Acuna did the exclusive of his own book, and they didn't even want to acknowledge that it existed, and it was his book.
Let me ask.
Very hard.
Hold on, Dolph. Let me ask Robert and Efren twofold. Sam mentioned the relationship with the artist, and you guys are blessed to have Deo, who's, and we're going to show you guys exclusive in a few. Deo is beyond. I remember meeting Deo a long time ago on the other podcast actually, and you guys are very lucky to have this relationship. This it's a very strong bond. And to be able to work a cover with your artist, knowing him, you're not shipping ideas to a guy and he ships it back. I mean, you guys are friends. Is there a type of does that change things when you guys are designing these covers? Do you come up with it? Do you just kind of give Dale full carte blanche to go?
So we tell Dale to cook. That's it. Tell Dale to cook. And that's it.
We had a different style, and a little bit of a different story. Like we for those who don't know, Rob and I own Comic Book Buy Sell Trade, one of the biggest Facebook groups out there, and we had given I'm not going to mention the retailer's name, but we had given one of the retailers full reins to do exclusives in our group, and in exchange for a couple copies of the book and like 5% of the funds, just so we could market back into the group. And after a year of having access to a 30,000 plus group, dropped one exclusive that he sold, two exclusives, one of which sold out. It was my idea. We got 5 books and no money. So we were like, okay, we could do this on our own, I think. And with $1,000, we said, let's do this. And Department of Truth was that 28.
Yeah,
we were still talking to Dale about. And all of a sudden, another retailer wanted to jump in on it with us. So we jumped in on it with them. We sold our allocation out. And probably about a month after that, the group chat started with Dale, me, and Rob. And I'm telling you, when I tell you that my wife gets so annoyed that group chat is like never stop. It's always bling, 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 bling.
Yeah, mute that shit.
So we took that. And we took that money and rolled it into another group, into another project. And this was March of last year, and that was Turtles number 8, that first Karai book that we did. And we're like, we're just gonna jump in feet first, and we're gonna go. We're gonna see what happens, and put it in God's hands. And where we end up. And we did 17 exclusives last year between March and December, I think.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Something like that. Only 2 books were in the red. Everything was in the green. So, which is for anybody who does exclusives and you hear those numbers, it is a blessing. And we're in end of April, and we're already at 20 something exclusives that we dropped this year. None are in the red. Everything's in the green, which again, if you hear a retailer telling you that they have that percentage of books that are in the green, it is phenomenal.
Efren and Robert, let me ask you this question. So from the ones that you had in the black versus the ones you had in the red, what are some of the lessons you learned?
Don't do any favors. Those 2 books were favors, and we didn't really want to do them. So we were very hesitant about doing it. We didn't want to do it. We didn't want to jump on it. The art was okay, but why put that much money? And at that time, we'd gotten to the point where we have enough money that if it doesn't do well, we'll do okay. But the difference with the relationship with the artist on those two books versus the relationship that we have with Dale, the formula just wasn't the same. And that's one thing that Rob and I will not divert from. We have a formula that works. I want to say like 65% of our exclusives are Dale, and the chemistry works. We go outside and do exclusives with other artists because we just don't want to be just the Dale shop, and that doesn't do us any good. Not to mention that doesn't do the recognition for Dale any good. And I'll tell you, about a year ago when you see Dale streaming on Whatnot, he had 3 or 4 people in his channel, and now he's got 15, 20, 30 people in his channel. So, and that's not because of us, that's because of all of us and the relationship that we've everything that we do in life. I'm very, very fond of this, but it's about relationships. I don't care if you do comics, I don't care if you're in jiu-jitsu, I don't care if you're in cybersecurity. If you don't develop the right relationships and build the right people around you, you are not going to grow. If you are an asshole, you are going to stink. So our formula has worked, and we'll take about 85% of our print run, and we'll run it normally. We got an Absolute Batman with Mike Choi right now that is pretty much almost sold out on pre-sales, and we haven't even got the book in hand yet. But we're holding back like 100 copies so that we can stream those books. We're not going to run. We're going to run at $2 starts. Wherever they go, they go. You've had more than a month to get your pre-sales, and when those sell out at that point, you had your chance. So we're not going to do like Heavy Mental. I guess we can be public about that now. I didn't want to mention the retailers before, but we're not going to do like them and drop 75 total books and then run the rest off at $2,000. That's just that's fucked up. This is not the right thing to do. So and
you know what, Efren, I feel like that gives the whole thing a bad taste.
Absolutely,
it feels like a cash grab.
Well,
Absolutely.
it turned everyone off to just the idea of exclusives for Absolute Batman. A lot of people have said they're squaring them off going forward.
Yeah, but the reality is, and I don't promote it, y'all already know I'm the Robin Hood of the unfair market. That is how I present myself. That is what it is. But it is a cash grab. The idea is to make money. I understand that it's kind of nefarious and shady, but that's just what the point is.
Yeah, I fundamentally disagree with you, Ish. I'm sorry. You can make profit without gouging people.
That's
no. But that fundamentally doesn't change the fact that the idea is a cash grab. It's to
what
make
they
money.
did was extorting that. So what they did, I'll agree with Ish 100%. Because if we're not making money, why are we doing this?
Exactly.
We gotta have fun. We gotta make money, because if we're not making money, we can't do the next book. Bottom line, and we're gonna end up broke and on the street. But when you exploit somebody and completely rob them, that's where it's wrong. When I tell you that
money's not a bad word. Money's not a bad word. There's nothing wrong with making money.
It's just a matter of how you do it. I think that's what it is.
Nobody's holding the people accountable who actually paid the money. They paid the money. Like, they paid it. They're equally responsible.
What would have happened if nobody paid? What would happen? Nobody paid that money.
Now you have a retailer who's sitting on a dud, and they're in the hole.
And that's
and DC's not cheap to do.
It's not. Listen,
not cheap.
I'm splitting a DC book. Absolute back. It's $6,500 out of my pocket.
Yep.
Like, out of my pocket. I'm not even using my company funds. I'm coming out of my own pocket.
Yep.
Because I just don't want to risk, putting Comic Sense in a certain position, and then if we're successful, obviously I'm going to just reimburse myself.
And that's only if you're doing regular covers. If you're doing a foil, it's $20,000 book.
Yeah.
Yep. And plus, there's some other things that are coming up that are making the cost
and that's
go higher.
Half the cost.
It's gonna be
only half the
interesting.
cost.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you know what's interesting is Dale, and I'm looking at you. What's your perspective on working with these two clowns? What's how are you like? I'm pretty blessed to have two guys that say
stick to the script.
You want that 65% of the portfolio to go down to 40? No,
I fell down the stairs. That's why. No, I'm truly blessed to have these guys. You know, I was pretty much a whole entire comic thing for a while. It was good, and then I got a real bad taste in my mouth for everything that sort of went down. And I gave one last shot to these guys for, I think it was like a Project Vigilante book, and it happened to be a guy that just totally scammed everybody and fell off the face of the planet. So I felt bad for them, like because in the situation, like, do you tell them, like,
That book right
you
there, bro.
you know that dude is about to,
Can you make Robert big, Caesar?
you know, just shifty. It was like, you know, when someone's upcharging someone when a book like that is costing you more than an Image comic. Like, no way that book should cost more than an Image.
That's sweet.
I'll show that on the screen, Rob, later.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So I got to do an anime. I really wanted to do like an anime style where they let me do it. But, you know, and this
Dale,
was Rob.
don't say that on this show. Don't say anime on this show.
Yeah, don't
Caesar
say
will
anime,
turn on his
bro.
voice on and be like,
Manga. Don't say anime. He's had
I'm not
enough.
allowed to say manga, anime.
I can't wait for our next manga stream.
So
That's gonna kick it off, Caesar. That'll be your first episode of the new show, manga.
Listen, Dale, because you got to be very. I got to be very honest.
What's up with this manga, guys? What's up with a manga?
It's very cool to have guys go, "Hey, Dale, you know what?" And you're like, "Give me ideas," and they're like, "Dale, just do it. Just do something."
That's all they do. So I met these clowns, and they're more like brothers now. Absolutely, bro. Like they let. I can't price anything. I'm like the guy that gives the art away. I don't care. Like, here you go, here you go, here you go. They keep me on. They just say, do the work, cook. Let them cook. Efron say something, and Rob will be like, let them cook. Efron then will say, cook. You know, and I just get to do what I do, and I don't have to worry about any back end problems. I just do my thing, and that's pretty much it.
That's the whole
You're
that's
Walter,
the way it should be.
You're their Walter White.
Pretty,
Just got you in the basement, telling you to cook.
So let me ask. I'm going to ask the whole panel except for Dan because Dan's the only one that has an exclusive. What advice do you have for someone like Dorf who done his first? He's like, I'm yet to be in the black, and it's getting a little frustrating. What's your guys' advice to someone like Dorf who's just dropped his first one and he's like, what do I got to do here? What do you got? I'm going to go with you, Efren. What's your advice for Dorf?
Relationships. Build relationships. You can have the best exclusive ever. You can have a beautiful cover. You can have a beautiful artist. Everything is great. But if you don't have a following, like back to the heavy mental, they made a lot of money, but I do feel like they burned a lot of bridges. But that publicity, being a little bit on the greedy side did help our book because everybody's looking at that. But you got to build relationships. It's about the people around you, the people that are going to support you. We have people that for our books, they promote us. They promote our books. And I don't know if you've seen the ads. We have ads all over the place. Where we got so many people supporting us, and we can't do it by ourselves. You are not going to be able to do it by yourselves. You have to have the support of the people around you and the community.
Robert,
be humble.
Just understand. Yeah. That's it. Be humble.
Humble, right?
The number one thing, you build relationships. Everybody's watching you. There's people that I don't know that are like, I saw you. I know who you are. Like, I have no idea who they are. Ever watching. It doesn't matter. You got people that are coming after you when you're doing successful things that want to replicate your model. Everybody has their eyes on you. Be humble. Do your thing. Everything follow.
And I would add to all of that, and from my own personal experiences, and Dorf, you and I have talked offline, and Efren mentioned following and things like that. And for me, what I would add is credibility, right? Like integrity and credibility. Be credible. If you can be transparent to a point because you have a business model, you don't want to tell everyone your business, so to speak. But credibility is It goes a long way. And I'm going to say this. This matters. One thing you can't really buy is brand credibility, right? You can't pay for that. You know what I mean? And that comes, it speaks to something Efren said, right? When you are credible and you developed a brand that's based on integrity and you're the face of it and it's credible, other people will speak for you, right? If you treat people right, it goes into developing relationships. You treat people right. If you go into it looking to treat people correctly, that goes a lot. Listen, these people sold this book and they gouged the market, and it's going to be very difficult. Maybe not. Maybe some idiots will show up because they always do if you pay attention to whatnot. But it's going to be very difficult for them to recreate that success, right? Because their credibility was damaged in the process. So again, I would just advise, establish your business and your brand on credibility.
Yep.
To add to what everyone else has said.
I would
Then be facts.
I would recommend utilize your community, because I can tell you, like, the loyalty that you build, like, you're just in speaking with you, I know you're a good dude. You wouldn't do anything that is, that would screw collectors over. That's part of your brand, right? But you got to leverage that identity and build that into, like, how do you get the community to back you? Like, I'll tell you, our Discord that we have, it's 220 something people, but every single one of them backs us like crazy, shares our books, pre-orders a ton of stuff, like, is on Whatnot, on Facebook, just going, hey, have you checked this out? So, like, the word of mouth, and I know you run some major groups and have a lot of people championing you, like, utilize that to your advantage, and then do favors for them too. Like, it's all about, like Ephraim said, like, the connections that you build, and you never know where that's going to pay off. And treat your artists well. I feel like that goes without saying, but, like, we're about to launch a website for our artist, and he's exclusively going through us, and it is one of the biggest things we've ever done, and it's going to be huge. But that was built just off the back of being good to someone, and having great communication, and paying them what they deserve, and also figuring out a system that worked for him in terms of, all right, let's figure out comps, let's figure out appearances, let's figure out all of the stuff that we can do for you that's not necessarily in the contract of, hey, just produce this cover for us, because you never know what can come out of it.
What if you, and I'm gonna, this is for the whole panel. What if you just feel as if you don't have that support? You have tons of people, you this and that, but it's crickets. They're just not there for you. They're not. I'll give you a huge example. As you guys know, or maybe don't know, I'm this is the last show of the comic menu, but I'm starting off a whole new branch, the Real Dracula's Wolf podcast After Dark, coming in May 12th for show. Ish, Sam, Dan is coming with me. We're bringing in Mark Fenton as a regular. It's going to be a fantastic show. I have 0 followers on YouTube, and I'm starting from scratch. And I'm going, hey, I got 2,000 something people on Instagram. Come on over, people. I'm starting you at, and then you have those 10 people, right? What do you kind of go like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm always there for you guys, this and that.
It's not a fair comparison to compare the two, because my answer to the first, if it was doing exclusives, to your question, is if you're in that situation, then you have to reevaluate what you're doing and how you're doing it, because the flaw is then on you.
There's a million tools out there to get your book in front of people's eyes. TikTok, Instagram. You can pay for marketing. You could promote.
It's marketing.
I'm going to pull the curtain back, and pardon me, Dorf. Dorf and I talked a lot when he was starting his business. One of the things I told him, and I'm not going to get too deep because it's Dorf's story to tell, but one of the things I said to you, Dorf, and you'll remember, because Dorf was, he had some concerns about, website traffic. And remember I told you, I said, one of the things that's going to do, like, don't really focus on the website, build your community. Like build your community and establish your community. You have a group, establish your social media presence, build your community, and that will drive traffic to your website because they'll be supporting you, right? They'll be supporting your product and your credibility. Listen, I have a website. Nobody knows I have it. At some point, I'll use it. I don't need it, right? Like I just don't need it because I have a community of people that are going to support what I do based upon what I've given to my community. So,
I mean, yes, I think there's also like a space where like you have to grind.
You have
But
to
you have
grind.
but you have to utilize your resources also. If you haven't typed in to like Chat GPT or Claude, like what can I do to drive traffic to my website? What can I do to like promote an exclusive? Like it will pull every single thing and it'll reference some of the biggest names in comic book exclusives and say, hey, here's what some people have done. Here's how you can optimize Google like SEO. Here's like there's so many different resources out there that can give you a business plan to say, hey, here's how you grow your business. Like,
listen, when I started
you
Comic
gotta
Sense,
take
I got
advantage of that
no
stuff
sleep.
too.
No sleep. When I started Comic Sense, I no sleep from my house, from my garage. And when I tell you no sleep, I mean no sleep. Like, okay, I need to do a show every Tuesday morning about FOC, right? And then when books come in, I need to do a show, a YouTube show. You know what I mean? So, all these things that I needed to do to really ensure that my business was going to be successful. This meant I can't go to sleep at 9 o'clock at night. I got to be up till midnight working and establishing and building a group and building a page and I got to get up at 6 in the morning so that I can, you know, while people are driving to work, they can listen to me, you know, talk about FOC and all of these things, right? I got to develop pre-sale models and I got to track these things and really a grind for like the first. Sam will tell you. Like I remember when I was at, you know, 3D. Remember, Sam? You thought I was gonna burn out. It was like sun up to sun down. You know what I mean? Grinding, like
So-
really grinding in order to put myself in a position.
So speaking of grinding, Efren and Robert, I knew you when. That's funny because I've known you, both of you guys. Actually, it's been a long time now that I think
You've
about
known
it.
me
How
since I
long?
was in high school, bro.
I knew Robert. I knew Robert before he can grow that shit on his face. All right, trust me, guys. I knew Robert before he was legal to drink. I knew Robert back when he was a whippersnapper.
You should be saying this on a.
Oh, well, I'm just saying. Efren, I've known for years as well. You know, I've seen them grow into like dropping these exclusive left and right, building this thing, and Robert with his stands with Jason. It's phenomenal to see people that I know, my friends, succeeding because they're grinding. You guys are putting in the work, right? And from where you guys started, you know, to where we at now, that's a lot of time spent. That's a lot of time spent away from your family, from your friends, from doing some certain activities, from doing whatever it is, because you guys had that goal. You kind of had that vision of where you can take this and where it's going to go. Tell me, tell me how it got there. What's the momentum? What encouraged you guys to get there?
I think the big thing was that getting screwed over by that retailer. That started it all. Because
that was that fire under your ass, right?
Yeah. So
I mean, there was another person too, bro. Like,
yeah, Rob and I have been hustling for a long time.
Can you talk about details of that? Like
how they got screwed?
Yeah. So, well, let's rewind a little bit. Like we didn't have the path. We were during COVID and before COVID, we jumped on Whatnot. We were some of the first comic book folks on Whatnot when Whatnot was just other stuff. And then after the whole Crane thing, I think everybody remembers the Crane thing with April and Jason, right? So after that, it seems like a lot of comic book folks and Whatnot just kind of split. So we stopped on Whatnot altogether. I was off Whatnot for about 2 years. And then I came back to Whatnot, and I was doing okay, nothing crazy. And the whole thing happened with the retailer with having exclusive access to the group. And we started going and streaming. And then Rob wasn't streaming yet. And I told Rob, I'm like, you got to get back on Whatnot. And he's like, for what? And literally the first 3 or 4 months that we were on there, 4 viewers in the room, 3 viewers in the room. It was bad. Spent 2 hours to make $50. It was
yeah.
And we started bringing the books in, and things started organically growing. I think the big change happened. New York, Rob, when we really started changing. I couldn't make it to New York. Rob and Dale were at New York, and they made some good connections out there, and they just started really blowing up the brand. They had a meeting. Was that in New York that you met Stan?
Yep. We had messaged Dark Horse to do an exclusive, and it was just crickets. And the book was the Usagi Kaido #1 that came out recently.
Yeah, good book.
It was phenomenal read. Just pure crickets. And come Friday, we get a message on Instagram saying that Stan Sakai is going to be at New York Comic Con for the first time for 1 hour. I waited in that line, I think, for 2.5 hours just to show him that cover right there, a print that we made of that cover to Stan. And then literally the week after New York Comic Con, we get a message back saying, like, submit the information for the book. Let's see what you guys can do. And that was our MegaCon drop right there. So it's been crazy.
That was probably our first really big risk, because we did 2 covers for it, and it was $1,500 minimum order on the print. So it was a pricey book.
That's more than Image.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's more than Image.
Yeah, for that specific one. So we're doing another Usagi. It was 1,000. 1,000 is the minimum, but we wanted to do 2 covers, so they made us
when the print runs that high, when the MOQ is that high.
Yep.
That's a big decision to make.
It's scary.
We were like one of the first ones, one of the very first Dark Horse exclusives, like a retailer was able to do, and then now everyone's able to do them now, just because we were just nonstop emails, nonstop waiting in lines. It was just crazy.
And then that really started the snowball effect. Dark Horse contacted us, funny, for a second exclusive. We Are the Savage. What's the name of that?
Only the Savages left,
Yeah, Only the Savages Are Left. That's the name of the book. It was a shared with Wayshank that we did. We sold that book out in a couple days, so that's gone. But that's really how it snowballed. And again, it's all with Dale. Our next big one that really blew up was the one that we got that Key Collector put out, White Sky. The White Sky that we put out. So White Sky, everybody knows what the White Sky story blew up really quick. So that Thursday after White Sky first print went out of print, we messaged the retailer, and they're like, "Oh, you don't have time to get an exclusive in for the second print." And we're like, "Are you sure?" Like, "Yeah, it's due tomorrow." So, and this was like at 7 p.m. on Thursday. So I messaged Dale, and I said, "Dale, we want to do White Sky. Can you make it happen?" He's like, "When's it due?" And I said, "Yesterday." So between 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Friday, our book went from offer on the book to fully approved art noon the next day. Completely done everything. And that book, we sold the crap out of that book. And it's just from there, just a snowball effect.
What's your brand's name?
CBBST.
Which is an acronym?
Yeah,
so you have a relationship with Dale, and that makes it easy when you want to do another cover. You can just reach out to Dale. But this is a question for anybody who's done an exclusive. How do you find? Is it like cold calling? Do you just like message an artist that you like and just say, "Hey, can we collab?" I mean,
the funny part about Dale, I made a post and he reached out to us, and then that's how this whole thing started out. Just with that first Project Vigilante book, and it just started going from there.
Yeah, but that's Dale, though. You could see Dale on social media. Dale was very diligent. especially before he kind of got disenfranchised. But he was very, we follow each other. We're friends on Facebook. Dale was very diligent about, getting his art on exclusives. You know what I mean? He was always very. I remember we talked about you wanted to do a shredder. You know what I mean? A while back, and Dale was just very diligent when it comes to that. So. That's not a surprise. You know what I mean?
So,
like Dale will reach out to you. You know what I mean?
If you don't know the artist, Dan, it is cold calling.
Yes.
It's cold calling. It's getting in touch. It's trying to find through their website, through their socials, trying to get that angle into their lap, or at least into their handlers at the very least, if they got a handler. So it does take some work.
Yeah, I've done it. I've reached out. I've established relationships with artists. We didn't do anything, but we have the relationships. You know what I mean? We reach back. We touch bases. There's a couple artists that I've kind of cold called about projects that we weren't able to make happen for a reason or another. They had a lot on their plate or what have you. But we bounced ideas off each other's heads, and you kind of established, like Efren's been saying, these relationships. And obviously here I have the luxury of living in Western New York, where we have people like Dale Altman, we have Kevin Delgado, like we have artists that we can kind of reach
Nate
out
Melendez
to.
is there.
Say again?
Nate Melendez.
I don't know who that is.
You know Nate?
Who?
Nate Melendez.
He's like way the other end.
Yeah, I don't know him, but I should.
Is this Stephanie Phillips from out there?
She
Yeah,
is,
Stephanie Phillips is Buffalo.
but she's not an artist.
No.
Well,
Yeah,
again,
but you can
back
still
to
collab with.
And it's
Well, yeah,
it's Dr. Stephanie Phillips. We're gonna give her her respect and her props because she's dope.
I mean, we've probably reached out to well over 100, maybe reaching like 150 artists, just cold calling. Some we've purchased commissions from before. Some we've just, we say we're huge fans of your work. And we just see if they're willing to do work with us in the future. Does it mean we're going to utilize that relationship immediately? No. And their situations change too. Like we've reached out to folks who said, yeah, we would love to do some work with you. And now they're only doing covers for DC. So it throws a wrench in whatever our vision was, when we want to do
me, I like local. I like new local. I love local. Like just putting.
That to me interesting.
Are artists locked into to a certain publisher, Sam?
Sometimes, yeah. Like there's an artist that was doing like image books just a month ago, and we reached out to him to do what I thought was going to be a badass cover, and he's like, "Nah, I'm doing DC exclusive now." We're like, shit.
Yeah,
contractually
Ben Yang is becoming almost Marvel.
Yeah, like
Fan
that.
Yang.
That can change at any moment, though. Where an artist becomes, exclusive for a bit. But we've taken the route of building up a list. So we have like a list of 50 artists that are like sequential art approved, basically. They said that they'll work with us. So at any time, if we want to, we could tap them and just go, hey, here are the projects that we're looking at. Here's the catalogs. We want to see if you're available.
Nothing's asking a good question. What happened to the good old days when there was just cabaret? This has been, there's been variants since like the 80s, right?
It's not.
I'm not talking.
And the
I'm
answer
not talking
to that
direct.
is no.
Well, I'm not talking direct versus newsstand. I'm talking like variant covers, like different covers of books have been since the 80s, right?
No, since the earliest variants were 90s.
Yeah, I think Ghost Rider, that Glow in Dark Ghost Rider was one of them.
Well, that wasn't a variant. That was just the cover.
I know the whole New 52 stuff with DC was like gangbuster variant covers.
Uncanny X-Men used to, in the 90s, they just started like, I believe 352 or 354 just for no reason had like a variant.
I mean,
right? They didn't even change the barcode, right? They just were both cover A's. You know what I mean? It just was a variant thrown in there. You know what I mean?
Without variants, I don't think the industry would be where it is right now. Just the publishers doing their own book covers has. I think
X-Men #1 in the early 90s was like the real.
Even though those technically weren't variants. They weren't technically variants. That was just, it was released with a few different covers. Whereas Lethal Protector had the red and then the gold variant.
Yeah.
The gold was the variant. They released the same number of each of those different covers, except for the fifth one, which wasn't a part of the original in the X-Men, in the X-Men 1. It was the same print run on all of them, so they weren't a variant where there was less of whatever. Whereas like the Lethal Protector gold, that is, or the Spider-Man 1 where you got the 3 different covers.
That was
variants within those.
But they didn't even change the barcodes on those, right? They were all like cover 1111. You know what I mean? They didn't go 1112, 1113, 131, 141, 151. They were all just A covers with.
So this is a good question. So how do you guys know which book to do an exclusive on? Right, I would think that obviously is a big thing, right? Do you guys just grab or forecast of what you think will be hot next and then strike on that, or how does that work?
Efrain, do you and Robert ever get into arguments about that?
No.
Really? You are all like, this book, let's go, let's do it?
Actually, it's the opposite. He wants to do everything, and I'm like, whoa, simmer down.
Okay, so kind of. So you're in...
But he listens. He listens.
Simmer down, man.
Yeah. Well, we don't get into arguments, so we're 4 people, right? And we formed under one umbrella, but choosing the book, it gets passionate, which it should be, because it's a big decision. But man, I think it's hard to pick a book sometimes.
We have a little bit of a formula. One, is it a hot book? So Absolute Batman. That's kind of a no-brainer. We'll jump on that. 2, how are we sitting in the bank account? So if it's something that's going to be a small project and we have a lot of money in the bank account, makes it a more lower risk. And then 3A and 3B, is it a first issue? And 3B, who is the writer? So like Tynion is a great writer. Anything Tynion typically turns to gold. So as soon as we saw Odin was coming out, we are jumping on Odin. So we got a cover coming out for Odin #1. We think that's going to be a hot book. And just to test the market, what we did is we put the ratios on eBay, and I'm almost sold out of all the ratios. So that is a great sign. So that's kind of our formula. And then kind of lining up, is this going to be a Dale book, or is this going to be something that we branch off? If it's going to be a Dale book, we're going to jump on it now. So we're first, and we get when you go to the other website, League of Comic Geeks. They have a great thing with covers and retailer exclusives and whatnot. So we like to use them to see, okay, who's already done something on it. Okay, this is the art, this is the style, this is the Dale book. This is something that is Absolute Batman, for example. Unfortunately, at this point, Dale hasn't done a DC book, so he's not going to be eligible for that. So we know that we're going to go elsewhere. That is going to change. We're going to get Dale in there, but we're not there yet. So that's kind of our formula for that, and how we look at what we're going to put exclusives on. Not to mention what the artist's style is for that book.
Yep.
Because you run that risk of choosing that book and then womp, 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 right? You're kind of like, well, shit, that took a dump.
Yep.
Well,
for me, I'm not concerned with the womp, 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 because my model and my vision is totally the other direction. And that's because my business model and my company is based on spec, right? So I'm a speculator. I'm in the spec market. I'm not interested in being involved in white noise, right? I don't want to do something that's killing the children, because 50 people are going to do something that's killing the children. So it just comes down to, in my mind, who has the coolest cover, right? Like that's what it just kind of comes down, and that's always subjective. So for me, like, when I did my Escape cover, right, it kind of fell in my lap. Daniel Acuna put out 10 covers and said, hey, I got these covers I'm really excited about. Retailers can choose to do them. I picked the only cover with the villain on it because I want to do a key cover. If I'm going to do a cover of a book, I want my cover to be key. So my cover of Escape is the only cover that doesn't feature the main character but features the villain. And Daniel Acuna did the cover. With my Exquisite Corpses #6, I spec'd the market, and I determined, and I told Kevin, I was like, yo, #6 is going to be the Rascal Randy issue. If you pay attention, I read, right? If you've been reading, he's coming in #6. let's do Rascal Randy for number 6, which is what we did. But I don't have a lot of exclusives because, one, I prefer it to be a number 1 issue. I prefer it to be an issue. I prefer to find the book that no one else is thinking about that has the potential to be really hot, right? Like, that's my approach. I want to find that book, that key book. There's going to be a first appearance in this book, or this is a book that no one's really looking at. A lot of times when Image sends their solicitations for books that you can do exclusives from, I'll email Jose and be like, yo, I got the solicitations. Can I do this book, which isn't solicited? And he'll say to me, okay, let's talk about it. What are you thinking? You know what I mean? Because I know once those solicitations come in the email, there's going to be 50 retailers
Everybody's looking at it
through the 20 books that they can do an exclusive on. And for me, listen, it goes back to the gatekeeping thing. And I don't mean gatekeeping in a negative sense where like there's this group of people that's saying, let's keep these people out. What I mean is 50 people are going to do Corpse Night number 1. So then it's going to come down to, well, do I trust Black Cape? So I'm going to buy the Black Cape book, right? Or this cover is really cool, which is subjective. You know what I mean? It's very subjective. It's kind of like, and you guys might remember when Something is Killing Children number 16 came out. It's what, 80 exclusives? 80 exclusives. 80. So the top % of people who did exclusives made money off of it. I guarantee you 75% of people who did exclusives lost money on that book because there's 80 exclusives.
And if we're going to go that route, so for example, the reprint for Something's Killing Children number 1, that was what, the 10th printing, and it was a MegaCon book, and we were like, okay, we know a lot of people are going to jump on this. What is going to set you apart? All right.
Yes.
Who's hot right now that nobody's talking about? Jeff Monk. Jeff Monk was doing all these Spawn covers, amazing artist, fits the motto. So we went Jeff Monk, and that book was absolute fire. So you know you have
that's it right there.
You got to
figure out a way to cut through the white noise. If you know you're going to be in the mix, if you know you're going to be a fish in a pond,
that monk was amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, it's you don't want to be part of the rat race. You kind of want to step out and make the other rats go, who the fuck is that guy?
Correct.
Dorf, you got your book handy? I'm going to put you on the big screen so you can show your exclusive.
I do. I actually, if you look on the wall behind me, that's the original art right there. I had to take that from Kyle. That's the original art. It's a tidal wave book. It's famed Michael J. Fox. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. This was a Kyle Willis book that has blown up everywhere. It's freaking amazing. It's sold out. This is on its 3rd printing now. This is from the 2nd printing. I absolutely loved this work. And when I said I wanted to do an exclusive with him, I wanted it to be, first of all, I couldn't have it be a Marvel or DC or Image. I can't do a print run like that. I'm too new and I don't have it. So I went to Tidal Wave to see what they had. And I wanted something that I cared about. So they have the famed Michael J. Fox book. And I said, I want to be Back to the Future because that's me. That's my childhood. But I wanted it to be in that style. So this is what Kyle came up with. That was the only direction that I gave him. I said, I want you to do your graffiti style, but I want it to be Back to the Future. So he put that together.
It feels like Warhol.
There's a
in a way.
DeLorean and a flux capacitor.
Yeah, it's sweet. That's a sweet cover.
So I had him do, this is the regular cover that, as you can see there, and then I had him do a flip one where it's the background covers is like a photo negative, so the color is completely swapped.
That's cool.
So I did the full run. I said let's go for it. I did the trades, I did virgins, I did embossed foil, and then I did a very low print run of metals. And the only way to get the metals is to buy the bundle of getting them all. So I freaking love the book. I couldn't be happier with the way it came out.
What's the total print run?
So this is the embossed foil of
that's neat. That's neat.
Whoa.
Neat, Dan. Could you put Dan at the bottom?
Yes.
Whoever used the word neat, can we put him at the bottom?
Oh, I'm sorry. What word did I use?
I swear, like some of the treatments that these companies can do that just aren't readily available on like Image or DC,
Itch.
it's like mind blowing to me.
Oh,
That's
great.
the textured metal.
So
Yeah,
so
that's
Dorf,
nuts.
Like gold
That's
leaf.
nuts.
where can these guys find
Oh
this
my
stuff?
God.
In the print run.
What's the print run if you
So
don't mind?
print run. Trades there were 60 of each. Virgins 40 of each. The embossed foils 25 of each, and 10 of each metal.
Oh, that's crazy. So less than 100 total. Well, 150, right?
270 in total when you add up all the different covers. But
Okay.
the largest of any one type was 60. So the trades, the two different versions, there were 60 of each. And each
where
one
can
of
we find
them
it?
has,
As I'm listening, Dorf and
There's your
Efren and
numbered
Rob and Sam talking, I
COAs.
feel like I'm an outsider, so I don't really understand all the things that you're considering and the factors that you consider when you do all these. But to me, it feels like there's pros and cons to the size. Like Efren and Rob, you guys are a partnership, so you are, in terms of a team, a smaller team, which makes you probably more nimble and you can react and do things a little bit more quickly than maybe Sam's quartet, where admittedly he says sometimes there's a lot of passion with the decision and the project and the direction. It might kind of be prohibitive. So what's the right recipe, you guys, in your experience? I mean, do you need more? Maybe
no
Sam
right
has a,
There isn't
There
one.
isn't
It's
a right
subjective
representation.
to the entity involved. Like what's your model and what's your base, right? Like it's subjective to that.
yeah.
Like I could take it my exclusive for Escape, for instance, and some retailers will do that. They'll do it for nefarious reasons. I left the price the same. I wanted to limit the run. I have to do a minimum of 500. I destroy 150 because I want it to be 350. I want to limit.
Plug
I
for
want to
Escape,
lower.
by the way. That is a great read. Escape is a great read.
So Dorf, for all these guys who are oohing and awing, where can they find this and all that good stuff?
So at Dorf Night Comics on Instagram, Dorf Night Comics on Facebook. If you are in the New York area, I have a booth at Mid Island Collectibles at the Broadway Mall in Hicksville, Long Island. My exclusives are there. I also have a few of them already at CGC getting graded. So I will have graded slabs of it available on my website as soon as they come back. But just reach out. You can hit me up on any of those places.
What's the price point?
20 for a trade, 20 for a trade, 30 for a virgin, 50 for one of the embossed foils. The full bundle, which includes a medal, is $225. I do have some that Kyle's already signed, and those it's $5 more if you want one that's pre-signed. If you don't, then it's not.
All right.
What about graded?
So, yeah,
Graded,
how much?
So I got to see what they come back at. I can't tell you. Like I didn't send a huge count in,
Did you
so I
pre-screen?
can tell you what's up.
Did you pre-screen?
Pre-screen?
I didn't pre-screen.
Always pre-screen.
Always pre-screen.
Always.
So
So always pre-screen. Always pre-screen.
Here's-
That's what I got. I got it.
here is the reason
Because
I
if,
don't.
for anything that doesn't pre-screen, they're not going to charge you for it.
Oh,
So
I know.
If you pre-screen for 9.8 and they pre-screen at 9.6, they're not going to charge you for those 9.6. They're just sitting back.
I pre-screen my other moderns that I send.
Mhm.
So this is a printer that Kyle uses for a lot of stuff. I don't know if you guys saw that this was a 10. I have a number of 9.9s and 10s that I've gotten of specific Kyle Willis books.
Is that a metal?
This is not a metal. These are, I have one of it. This is the second print. I have a 10 in the first print. I sent 4 books from this run. Didn't pre-screen. I had 4 books from his first print. I got 3 9.9s and a 10.
Yeah,
What,
but that's not the
I'll have to
problem.
get that printer
The
info from
problem
you,
is when you get 9.4s and 9.6s.
No, I get that. But
rather
what
than
I'm
9.8s.
that's what I'm saying. This is the same printer who did these. I have just an incredible track record with getting high end. So even if one ends up a little bit lower, I know the majority of them are going to come back the way that they should.
You got to keep in mind though, how does that scale?
Right.
So you're doing what you're doing now. When you start doing bigger quantities, how is that going to scale for you?
Yeah.
So that's a different. I was literally with this publisher, and this printer was why I said I'm going to do. I don't need pre-screen. I don't need to stress on that. That is not the overall plan for the future. If I'm doing just a
Dale.
standard modern book, it's going to be.
You're not sounding very Jewish right now.
Question for Dale. Dale, what's your process? Dale, what's your process? So when they reach out to you and they're like, "Hey, we're going to do a cover," what kind of information do you need to get started, and what's your process to start, coming up with the idea?
So technically, pretty much it's whatever cover they tell me. They'll shoot me whatever, like we'll say image. They'll give you a little about the actual book itself.
Tell him he's got 10 minutes to get it done.
Yeah, 10 minutes to get it. I mean, these guys have given me less and less time where literally they give me, I think I got off the plane from MegaCon, landed, went to bed because the plane landed late. I woke up the next day to a phone call. Hey, we need your Archie book. I was like, what? Okay. And they're like, it's due Friday. My wife's like, they gave you an extra day to do it? That's crazy. Like, do a book. Like, it's crazy.
I just picture them like sticking you in your studio and saying, "Cook."
You know what?
My studio is part of a kitchen table.
So I feel like Efren would like mock it up and be like, "Okay, Dale,
I'm just saying, I need you guys to put on like a skit on your Instagram, like a reel, where you guys give them a project and then you just lock them in the studio and scream "cook" at them. I would die.
Unfreeze yourself, Efren. Unfreeze yourself.
Yeah, Efren, you might want to. There you are. You froze up there. It's too hot. There you go.
So, just a little bit, I will 100%.
There we go.
I will do my research. I'll start Googling the title real quick, see what information I can get. If there's any like interviews that have gone down, like this is a cross between Akira and whatever. I see an idea in my head from there. See a couple of things and pick out.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome.
What's going to be different? My cover versus, if there's 100 covers, what set me apart? Like, I just figure out what I like in my head. I see it, and I just put it down. Like the White Sky, I had hours or something to do that without staying up because I had to work the next day. And like, I just had an awesome idea in my head. Like, I saw the cover in my head. Just went on.
So number 3 just came out today, and I thought it was dope. It was a dope issue.
I think that's a sick story. Like, when they told me about it, I read the blurb. I got to see most of number 1.
You got it, Rob?
It read fantastic. It reminded me of like The Last of Us meets The Walking Dead, but ghosts.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
And I love ghosts. So
yeah.
Hey, Dale, that floor was so hot it broke my computer.
You're Poltergeist. You're Poltergeist.
So with that, I didn't do any pre-sketching at all. I just grabbed my Sumi ink and I just went to town and let the gods be the gods and guide my hand. Hopefully I got something good, or else I'm going to be up all night and calling in the next day.
So I'm gonna start showing quite a few of these Robert and Efren exclusives. I'm just gonna throw them on the screen, guys, and you guys can talk about it. Dale, of course, you are more than welcome to tell us what you're going on, what your thoughts are, and how your process was. So let's go ahead and start with this first. Give it a few seconds, and we'll be jumping down. There we go.
Oh, we haven't even dropped that yet.
You haven't dropped
that out yet.
We're dropping that this week.
That just went on FOC this week.
We're dropping that this week. Rob, you want to talk about it?
So Dale can talk about it. Dale can talk about it because this is a project we saw on the list and it caught out to Dale. So Dale cooked with the Sumi style for this one, but Dale can talk about it.
So, well, you can talk about that, Rob, because you were pushing the hell out of this book. Because why?
It's the creative team who did that book, the News from the Fallout.
Yep.
And they're a really good creative team.
It's
Chris
one
Condon,
of the
he's
most
the writer.
underrated books to drop in 2025.
Why?
News from the Fallout.
Why?
It's so brilliant.
That was the first book that we ever did that hit Key Collector.
It's so brilliant.
That's awesome.
Great book from Image Comics, News from the Fallout. And it's
I
so
just
underrated.
read issue 1 of this, Oh my god.
Now that's a book that you do an exclusive on because like there are 10 people who did an exclusive on news from the Fallout. You know what I mean? I actually looked
Two.
at it. Say again.
2 people. We
Yeah,
were one of them,
Two.
and then there was one other person, and then
Listen,
that was it.
it came on solicitations the same time Escape did, and I was juggling. Remember, Sam, I posted in our group that I want to do a news from the Fallout exclusive, but then Daniel Acuna sent his email asking people to do exclusives for Escape, and I jumped on it because here's the cover. It's the villain. If I get that villain cover, that's the one I want, and I got it. So, but yeah, news from the Fallout was one because it's just there weren't
It was
100
such a
people
good
looking
read.
at it,
It was
and it's
such a good read.
great read.
All right.
This
So
is gonna be a great book of the Earth. It's gonna be.
I'm excited for
This
this.
is gonna be a
one.
sleeper.
all right.
I mean, it's a liar. I mean, he is
dropped this
fantastic.
week.
We're gonna announce it this week.
We're
That's the
announcing
plan
it
of
this
pre-sales this week.
Yeah, we're dropping the
It
cover
comes
this
out
week.
May 20th.
Anybody,
Well, there you
anybody
go.
watching now, they got first glimpse.
Yeah, exclusive. There we go. Is there anything else on here that I can't show you, idiots? Because you sent me a bunch of stuff.
Let me see what I
Show
sent
'em.
you.
Let them show them all.
Okay, there you go. You got the green light.
Good.
Let them show them
Oh,
all.
we got the green on. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Oh wow.
So this is 13.
13.
I'll talk about this.
I chose wrong.
Obviously, it's Dale book, but with if you're following the series, you know that every book, cover C of every book has like here's issue 1, comes in a poly bag with a potential foil card, but it has a card. So
Mhm.
one thing that I caught on was the fact that there's cards for this. So what we decided to do was this is going to be our first full exclusive, and we're doing this by ourselves. This is not a shared book, but we got a virgin black and white cardstock, and then we have the color foil. The bonus thing about this that we're doing is for every, let me grab a couple of them. For every foil cover is going to have a foil card.
Hold on. Let me put you on here. Let me put you big. Hold on, because this fucking.
Okay,
And Dale
well.
did the art on the card as well.
Oh yeah, there's a story here.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
So,
zoom in.
so it's going to be 1 of 12 cards. So even if you get a foil book, doesn't guarantee that you're going to get all the cards. So you got to get multiple books and then potentially trade whatever you want to do. So every book has 12. Every card is going to be limited to 41 different COAs for the foil. For the cardstock version, it's going to be a cardstock card. Now the cool thing about it is on top of that, we got the OAs for all the cards. So we're going to be dropping those randomly into 12 of the books out of the 1,000 print run. So you got a 12 out of 1,000 chance of pulling the OA card as well. We're going to have 6 in the cardstock and 6 in the foil. So that's going to be extra cool because so 12 of the books are going to get 2 COAs in them, or not a COA, 1 COA and then the original art in it, which is pretty cool. So he did the cards, like throwing up the cards, magician, and that's what the Fox Lady's doing. But that one was Dale's idea. I had a concept, and we tossed it around. And I said, Dale, here's my thought. He's like, I like it. I'm gonna cook. Go cook, and that's what we did. So we just launched pre-sales on this one, I think, last week.
All right. And
And
move on to.
That goes back to the relationship though we have. Is they tell me like we want to come up with this idea. We want cards. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do some OA for it. I wanted to try out these watercolor pens that I had. So I watercolor paper. Was going to scan them in to finish the card border and everything that I made. And I was like, you know what? I did all of these live on Whatnot, and those streams, I don't sell anything. It's just strictly to draw and talk to people, new people talk about what's going on. But telling them, we had such a good crowd for all these books and such a good following. I'm like, you know what? It's a little fun way to give back is everybody on those streams kept saying, can we buy them? Can we buy them? Can we buy them? And I said, no, just stay tuned, follow us. And I told Efron and Rob, I go, this is non-negotiable. I want these to go in the pre-orders as a thank you. And Rob and Efron both right away agreed. We're an amazing idea. We're doing it. End of story. So like,
and then back to
we are usually all on the same page.
We have a pretty good following in the Exquisite Corpses group, but at the same time, this is the last issue for the series, so there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be pushing exclusives on this because it's the last one. They want to close it out with a bang. So
shout out to Sam Ferrato, the owner and creator of the Exquisite Corpses.
Our very own Sam here. That's his group, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then one of the things that I talked to Rob about was like, how can we set ourselves apart with the 13th issue? And we came up with a card idea, dropping cards, dropping chase cards, and here we go.
I got to tell you,
to get an OA card in this, it's like a 1 in 82 chance of getting the OA. Those are some pretty damn good odds. I mean, when you think about the exclusive game, that'd be sweet to get a book and you get a piece of OA in one of those books.
Yep,
that'd be insane.
You know what's cool is that I prefer the black and white with the red. I don't know. I'm a big fan of contrast, and I like
that's pink. Oh, the black and
what
white.
did he just say?
Yeah, it's like the blood splatter.
The red blood.
Yeah, you like
the blood splatter. I kind of like that. All right, move on to the next. Here we go. This is very cool, very subtle.
12. That was our issue 12. We just got that in last week, and that was Dale's first time trying out. Is it graphite with graphite?
Yeah. So this one was done all graphite.
There's something very. I like the subtle of this. Right, it's extremely soft.
Yeah,
extremely soft, like the hair that Dale once had. It's extremely soft. I kind of.
We wanted a buzz cut on that one.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to the next.
I'm always pro cleavage on exclusives. That's a good one.
Oh, me too.
What are we looking at?
Corpses, real quick.
Yep.
We gotta tell that story. So one of the things that Jose kept telling us with every single corpses that we dropped was to cut back on the cleavage. So after issue 9,
wow,
Dale was like, fuck that, I'm not changing anything, and we'd submit the final. They didn't say anything else. Every single one, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So just wanted to put that little story in there. That was
cut
funny.
back on the cleavage. What was the rationale?
Didn't give any.
Didn't give any.
Because, traditionally sex sells. I mean,
but there's corpses that she's half naked and she's wearing like pasties.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, we got that direction too. Like, make sure you don't go crazy. And then I see what I just ripped open in some blind bags, and it's just
exactly
no cheat code at all. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, right.
Tell us that.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, listen, maybe they don't want to sexualize a character that's out there.
You should show her Foxy Browns.
I mean,
I mean, it's the comic world, though, man. Like, who's like, oh man, I want washboard, abs and the tits to match.
And it's an MA app. It's a MA comic. It's not a kids comic.
That is true.
That's the thing too.
Yeah,
but I mean, even if it's not an MA comic, even if it's not like the subject matter, I mean, listen, we're in the real world where sex sells. I mean, it just feels like it's a bad move to say.
Can you put
not
me at the bottom? Can you put me at the bottom?
What am I looking at here, gentlemen?
That's the shared Dark Horse exclusive for Only the Savages Are Left. That one's the Wayshack cover he did. So the next two that's the trade, and the other one's the Virgin.
And he was the artist that did that Nectar hot book.
The ratio cover, yep.
So I got to meet the cover artist of Nectar at the Comic Con I was just at here, Chris Sheehan, I believe his name is, and of Cover A, and sweet guy, cool guy. Said let's work together to have you on the new podcast. He's like, let's do it. So I'm hoping to get him on. Extremely talented, and he's just there. No one was bothering him. No one was actually asking for his stuff, and he had a first print of Nectar just sitting there, and I was like, and I got to be honest, I didn't know who the dude was. I never saw the guy, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, I goes, this is a first print, right? He goes, yeah. I go, so who did the cover of this? Who did the cover? And he goes, that's me. I was like, fuck. His name is not on the cover. His name is on the book.
But you wouldn't have read it.
No, I wouldn't even know who the fuck.
Yeah,
well, it doesn't say
cover. That's the nice thing about it.
What I'm saying is that it doesn't say like his name isn't as it's. Anyways, his name is nowhere on the cover, so it doesn't say Chris and Chris and Chris and Chris. I was like, so who did? He goes, that was me. I was like, fuck me, man. I'm like, well, don't worry about it. I don't read. So hey, let's go on to the next.
Caesar. God.
Mike Choi, Absolute Batman number 20. So this one, this is a shared that we're doing with Hachimal, Justin Davis, if you guys know him. So he approached us about this one some time ago, and I was like complacent because we were already dropping a lot of things. And for those who don't know, DC is very expensive. So finally, I was like, if we can do maybe a third, or maybe a little bit more than a third, I think I'd be comfortable doing it. I think we ended up doing a tad more than a third, but threw them on the internet, on the webs, and people were going crazy about them. And we've sold 200 sets of this thing. We're down to like 40 sets that we're gonna pre-sale before we just drop the rest of them on our streams.
I like the color. I like the coloring on this cover. Really,
the Virgin is so he painted these, which is amazing. The Virgin is a battle damage. The trade is not a battle damage. The trade is regular trade stress. Mike did a great job on those.
All right.
See, there's a trade. No, no blood.
You know, Mike Choi is a guy that I'm thinking about. I would like to bring him on the show on the new podcast.
So there's no blood on the trade.
No blood on the trade. The blood splatters on the Virgin.
And that's the Usagi. That's
Usagi. That's your story to tell, Robin Dale.
Oh, I love this cover. Oh my gosh.
Go for it, Dale. You say it, bro.
That's you, man. I want to hear you. You waited in that line.
So do two more pictures to the other side. Yeah, do two more. So that was us with a print. That was me with the print, waiting 2.5 hours in the line, showing Stan the cover. So that was cool moment there, for sure. And yeah, he loved it. He loved it. So we did. Our plan was to do only one cover, and then Dark Horse said we could split it up into two covers, but we had to do 1,500 print runs, so break it up 750. So we did Usagi and then the J for the other one.
Dale, this is you?
Yep.
So, yeah, that's mine.
So Dale, question for you. This is amazing. I mean, I'm in love with this cover. What made you...
Wait till you see number 5.
What was your influence to make it black and white like this? Like, what was your...
So, this is technically my style. I do a lot of the Sumi art, and Usagi ended up becoming part of that journey just because when you're learning the Sumi style, like there's a lot of different ways that you load your brush to make all those strokes, all the shades, and all the harmony goes into this. And it's pretty much you don't pre-plan these. It's you go in there, that ink is the ink, and if you mess up, you mess up. I mean, that's it. Like you have to be very dedicated to your lines and what you're doing. And a little bit less is more.
Yeah.
For that style. And I'm so used to with the photography being like perfect. The lighting has to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect. That I took that sense of learning the Sumi style and I went chaotic with it. So it's using all the loading techniques, but I don't want limited lines. I want to just go nuts with it and have fun.
Yeah.
And create chaos, like controlled chaos, if you will. But
you know what I like about it, Dale, is that it has that look of that mischievous, he's up to something look, right? That stare, the side eye. It's that's some good stuff, man. That's some talent right there, gentlemen.
That
crazy
one
part about
thing
that
is
story.
I wanted you to like be walking, like, you know, picture him. He's just walking to wherever, and then, you know, you hear that noise like you're about to get attacked or something. And I want to add that mystery, like you said, everybody's going to see something for and assume something's coming, and
that's that look he gives you when you walk up. When you walk up next to him, that's that look, right? When you just kind of creep up next to him.
Yeah.
And that cover, the Usagi, like that was like one of the first few times he did that style, and like we told him, like we were in the works to try to get that cover for him, like do not show anyone that, do not post that anywhere. He had a post where like take it down. We're gonna like save that for a cover. We're gonna use that for a cover. We're gonna make it happen, and it just turned out to work out perfect.
That red, what is that, like kanji down there? Was it
calligraphy.
That's my kanji seal, which is when I was in Singapore, we were in a little Chinatown market, and they made my seal for me. So it's Dale, and then on this honor.
So is it
So
actually
that
like a
whole-
seal?
that's
Like you
what
have like
that
a
means.
so you have like a stamp now that you can just stamp it, and that's sweet.
Yeah, so
I
that's
love
part
that
of it.
touch.
Like when I'm doing the kanji, like if you're writing like the shredder that I did, I have the kanji going down there for Orokosaki, and down there, like the red seal will actually seal that to make with that.
Wow.
I think there's a couple of exquisite corpses that I did that have that too, like Fox Mask Kill, and I think one was
I'll
exquisite
send you the
corpse.
pictures of it, Caesar. I sent you another one too. So that's
Yeah, I
that's
saw.
the first book.
Yeah,
That's the book that started it all with Dale and
yeah. So, and I felt bad because I knew what was going to happen with this project. I called it, I knew it, and it happened. And I felt bad, and I was already out of the game. I didn't really want to do comic covers anymore. I went back to
What happened?
photography. It just the COVID money was gone. People weren't doing retail exclusives for those couple of years like they were. Like the big names weren't getting projects, and I don't know. It just wasn't fun. The shop that I was doing, that shop went under, became a card shop,
Oh.
but it wasn't the same,
Yeah.
Like this is part time for me. This is just a side gig, and I do this just for fun. And when it became not fun, I was.
How did I
had a
know?
really-
How did I know? I shouldn't have even asked. I'm sorry for seriously. I really mean that with all due respect. I'm
No,
sorry that
it's
I asked
absolutely
because
fine.
I
Like
should have already knew.
I'm
I should have known.
transparent about everything, so I'll leave names out of it, but
Yeah.
I'm transparent about it.
It's funny about that
And-
cover, the vigilante cover. We had Rob had a stack of them, so we split them up for streams, and this was way fast forward after that issue was initially released, and we're getting $40 to $50 for that book on stream, current day. So it's awesome.
I definitely apologize that you went through that because you sincerely.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that, but so because I felt bad about that project Vigilante, I told Rob, like, if there's another book that's coming out, I have a really good idea, I'm gonna hit you up first. And I forgot where I was driving home from, but the department, I just had a chamber of chills. Like, I just really thought that would fit that cover so well. And I literally sat there, like, looking through, I think they have 590 different Department of Truth retailer exclusives. And then no one ever thought of doing that cover. I'm like, all right, let me just sketch it out. I sketched it out, and I asked Rob, and he was like, absolutely, we're doing this. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. And I was like, from there, I go, my goal was to get a Turtles, wanted to do a cover, and then I was going to be done. Like, that was it. I'm good.
I remember this.
And Rob I will give you the original art to this if you get me a Turtles cover. And he goes, say less. Yeah, a big smile on his face. Efron came in, and I got to know them from there. And
because I like turtles.
Sure enough, what was it? Less than a month later?
Yep.
Turtle cover. And what Efron submitted, I cried.
I don't have a picture of that. I gotta.
Oh my god! If you see, it was like just a step above a stick figure, and Efron's like, "Oh, they loved it," for the cry. They're like, "Cook." I was like, "You submitted that." Like my heart dropped. I'm like, "Great, now I'm the laughing stock." Like I'll never get a cover again. This is it.
Speaking of turtles, this is pretty badass. I don't know. Tell me about this.
Just to speak on that one, this was my first attempt learning the bamboo, like in the background. And I'm like, I wonder what it would be like to do a shredder, just with some of these techniques I'm learning. So that was the first official piece that I sat down and did. and someone wanted to buy that in town for 50, and I was like, yeah, man, like when it's done, you for like $50, whatever.
$50.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta talk.
I mean, I tell you, when
that.
I give away things, I give away things. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, $50,
Damn.
we're good.
Jesus.
And they never collected, and
Oh no.
Yeah, they screwed up.
sure enough,
And that was one of our
they
big
big time.
Yeah,
Do
that was
you
one of
still
our-
have it? Because I'll buy it for $50. Fuck.
Actually, so I actually legitimately sitting right here.
Oh, you do have
You
it.
know what? You know what's so funny is some covers you look at these exclusives and they're just beautiful. But sometimes you look at exclusive covers and they're literally like hang them on the wall artwork. Like I feel like this and that Usagi are ones that you would frame and put on the wall.
And
Agreed.
I'm going to throw a little FBI hint out there. We're doing 4 covers for Turtles 300, and one of those covers is going to be a matching cover to that shred.
What's up, Tom Holland over here?
I didn't say what. Didn't say what. I didn't say what.
Actually, I can show you.
Here's number 11. Exquisite Corpses number 11. Another one of our MegaCon exclusives of the day. We just
I like that one a lot.
we're down to like 40 or 50 covers of that one. There's number 9. I think, is that 9 or 10?
Number 9.
Number
I don't
9.
know. I can't even see my camera.
We got less than 10 copies of that one left.
Like, this is all like the Sumi art style, and that Usagi is massive.
You got to
But
zoom
this
in
was
on
like-
Dale Caesar.
Let me see, Dale. Come here. Hold on. Let me
This is
zoom in
like-
on you.
I don't know if you can see. This is like some of the stuff that, like, I'm just for fun. I'll do that.
God
That's
dang,
fantastic.
man.
That's
Let's
good stuff.
let's just look through your portfolio, dude. Seriously, like just let's hang here for a minute looking at his portfolio.
Do it.
This,
Oh,
this is
good.
like this is all the ant stuff, like the Psylocke from Demon Days. I think it's Demon Days. I always thought she was like, it was this Peach Momoko version. I just thought was fantastic. So I
Wow.
was like, let's make her a little bit more realistic and see how that went with that.
Why don't you see that on a Marvel book next year?
You're
These are-
doing all.
so this
You're
is the actual.
doing all right there,
This
Dale.
is the actual size. Like, this is huge. So that was the original piece that I did, and this was just for fun. And everybody loved it enough. Like, I posted this in the group, just for fun. And Rob goes, "Take that down, Efron. Take that down." Like, just little things. Like, people love the.
Yeah,
Did a
yeah.
scroll.
Li-
Efron showed the scroll.
Little things, Dale. Little things. Look at this fucker.
God dang.
I don't know. I find myself good yet.
Yeah.
I'm practicing.
Yeah, you do
Well,
suck.
we are
You
always
suck,
our own
Dale.
worst critic.
But see, let me tell you something about that. So when we started streaming with him initially, he was like literally $50. Give it away. Let it go. Let it go. And after a couple of those streams, I pulled him aside.
Efren, hang on to your story. Hang on to your story. Hey, Dale, you want to sell me that Usagi for $50?
Usagi.
Okay, sorry, Efren. Now you can go with your story.
You can have like one of these ones. Like, these are the old ones.
But I literally told Dale, and I think I was kind of an asshole about it, but that's part of my personality and what makes things go well with me sometimes. But I told him, I said, you cannot sell things for $50. I said, we're not doing that.
No,
We're gonna, you're talented, and you're not gonna
Oh,
cheap yourself
No
out.
doubt.
And
no doubt. Yeah.
we started pushing and pushing and pushing, and there was other streamers and other artists on their own streams, like bigger named artists than Dale at the time, that were selling their own OA on a book for like $150. And now at that point, we were getting Dale $300 for a cup for something on a cover.
Yeah.
And like, you can't cheat
Absolutely.
yourself
I'm not,
out. You-
Efren, I'm not advocating one way or the other. I'm just going to say this. Original art for $50. I'm nowadays spending more to get signatures from some of these creators, $50.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Just to get them to sign a book, and it's more than that. So OA for $50,
yeah,
I'll take 20. Give me them all.
right.
Well,
That was
I
my
think
thing.
Dale, I'm going to say that.
It's a fable.
I mean, $50 for me for that
Fable.
shredder. I appreciate you for that, for one thing. Second, it is another guy, Dale. I mean, you're one that I remember talking to. You were sort of starting out, and man, you've come leaps and bounds, my friend. And to think that
appreciate that.
you do other things for this community, not this community, but the community around, working at the hospital and all that. And I don't know, man. I mean, there's nothing brings me more joy than to end the last show of the comic menu with good friends and fantastic talent. It's crazy. It really is. This has been a really cool run doing this. Shout out to Dell for introducing me to podcasts. He brought me in years ago with the Comic Fanzine with the other guys and became a regular. And then we broke off, started the Comic Menu, and he built that Facebook page. And but you know what? It's times has come to break off and start my own. So very soon you'll start seeing the Real Dracula's Wolf podcast after dark. We'll be starting. Our first show will be May 12th with pre-code talk with Code Blue and Crime City, looking to bring some other people on. And of course I have Ish is coming back with me. Dan is coming with me. Comic Sam is coming with me. We added Mark Fenton, who's watching now. You know, it's.
Al.
Oh, what are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Sam's big sister.
Oh,
Oh, it's not Al.
And we're gonna have some good times, man. We have a lot of stuff planned, a lot of special panels. We're gonna have an all writers group showing up for people who want to be potential writers. We're going to have experts. We're going to have of that profession give you the trials and tribulations and what you have to do to and it's going to be grind, right? That's everyone's going to say what Efren and Robert, Sam, and everyone's saying, grind. That's the only way to go. Shit's not going to fall in your lap just sitting around.
Unless you live on
the nest. And now that you say that, I do want to thank you, because it was back when. Who were you with before when you were doing those shows?
With Dell, with the comic.
When you were on there, there was like you had like Whatnot when it was like legitimately in that day, and they were just starting their exclusives. I messaged that dude, and he messaged me back an exclusive with Whatnot. And it's just like, take your shot. What do you have to lose? I'm going to message someone. You want to do a cover? No. You like my work? No. Cool. All right. Move on. Next.
That's the thing. People are afraid to. We're in a society where people are afraid to hear the word no. But no means nothing. You know how many times everyone in this panel in their lifetime have heard the word no? And yet,
how many times
here we are.
Hear about my high school dating life?
The thing is, like, as an artist, like, if you get rejected, you don't know what the reason is, though, either. Like, sometimes they don't give you notes on that book, and like, where that like hit you in the gut, like shit, my work wasn't good enough for you. Like, I'll tell you, that Invisible Man book, I did a sick, amazing,
you did an amazing cover for that.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I was impressed by it, and I don't even like my work 90% of the time. And we were rejected for that book. Reason why, and we moved on, and it was what it is. But like, I don't know a lot of people that made a lot of money off of that book. I don't know if it's even still going. You know, it didn't. It went silent. Like, well, maybe that was, you know, some way of saying it. This isn't for you. It's not going to do well. Move on to the next project. You know, it is what it is, and you know, you shake it off and keep moving. And I forgot what project we picked up, but it did well.
And that's I think that's the moral of the story. Is just you just don't give up. You know, it's not an easy world out there, and we create our own chapters in life, and it's up to you to write the next one. And I'm writing the next one, and I'm bringing all you guys along with me. It's fun. It really is fun. I do this. I don't make money. I'm not even monetizing. I do the shit because it's something to do for me every Tuesday. And if I'm able to bring my friends, I'm able to introduce people to other people, because that's what I think it's been happening on this show for a very long time, as I introduce a lot of cool people to people.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I've introduced Ish to Dan, and Ish to Dorf, and Sam and to Dan. These people otherwise would not have met. And this comic book community is, as I always say, it's the largest and yet smallest community around, because everybody knows each other. And without me jumping in those communities in 2018, I never would have met baby Robert. You know, I never. Now he's man Robert, and I never Efren. I never would have met Efren and Dorf, and it's funny. It's a very cool run, man. But I'm looking forward to seeing all of you. So that being said, let's go around the horn. We're gonna have tell us what's coming up, where can we find you, what's the latest and greatest, and all that good stuff. So let's always start with the guy who has the least to promote. Dan, we're gonna start with you, my man. What do you got going on?
I appreciate it, man, always. And I got to throw you your flowers, Caesar. Once again, a great show. What a great ride it's been on the Comic Menu. You've just, done the show in spades, and the way you prepare and reach out to getting great people on. And like you said, we've made a lot of good friends on these shows. We've got great friends watching us, great friends participating. It's just been a good ride. And I'm really excited to see what the future is going to hold with the new show, and see how we grow that. And we kind of get to really kind of spread wings and do some cool stuff. But, I just have such admiration for these guys on the panel, all of you. I mean, for what you do, you make the hobby fun, you make it interesting. And as somebody like me who loves to read, who loves the artwork, loves everything about comic books, and I'm reading everything, comics, manga, and I love watching anime. I'm all about it. So this is just a real fun show today. If you don't find me on the YouTube podcasting with Caesar, you can find me on Instagram at Tree City Comics. I'm always writing about the books I'm reading, the shows I'm watching, the toys I'm buying, all the money I'm spending on this hobby that I love. So follow me there. And every Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, I'm writing about my pull file, the books that I'm reading. So if you don't want to get your book spoiled, don't maybe read it. But if you're interested to see what I'm reading and how I interpret the books and how I write about the books, please, feel free to give me a follow and check out my posts. And then occasionally I'm also with the Comic Underground, which is a great collective on Instagram, building a community of positivity. And they host sales occasionally. They also have different shows, Coffee Talk on the weekend. They're getting ready to gear up at the end of June for their Anticon online comic convention, full of fun creators, sales, variety shows, you name it. So make sure you give them a follow. But, again, please, feel free to reach out, and let's connect on Instagram, Tree City Comics.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Sam, why don't we go with you next? What do you got going on? What's your next exclusive and all that good stuff?
Oh, my gosh. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, Caesar. I mean, who could have thought that?
Can you put them on the
I'm
big
trying
screen?
to, but fucking Dan's big head is in my way.
Dan has a huge.
No, leave it here. Leave it here. It's fine. Let everybody marinate in this.
Ish invited me here, a year ago, maybe? I never would have thought I would become a regular every single week on this. So I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate the platform and just the crazy amount of fun also that we've had every single week. I want to do it with any other crew. It's been amazing. And I can't wait for the next stage in this. It's going to be exciting. We'll all grind it out together and make it grow. So with that, we've got a couple things coming up this week. We'll be dropping an Exquisite Corpses number 13, I believe, later this week. So check out my Instagram, Comic Sam Collects, and also our official Instagram, Sequential Art, and then sequentialartcomics.com. You'll see that. I believe, are launching a website with an artist this week also, and dropping their first website exclusive. So check out, it'll be on my Instagram. So that's going to be huge and a pretty big deal for that artist going forward. So we're super pumped about that. We still have Absolute Batman number 20 on the website. think we're limited down to like only a couple hundred sets left. We also have our Corpse Night that came out last week, and the shipments are coming in, so we'll get those out to people. And then if Destruction Be Our Lot still on pre-order, we're one of 4 retailers who did an exclusive for that book. Matt Rosenberg has crafted a pretty amazing tale of like this robot Abraham Lincoln who's living in a post-human world. It's pretty wild. So take a look at that. I think it's going to be huge when it comes out.
All right. Wow. You got a shitload on your plate, my man.
Yep.
Dorf, they're next, man. What's just go ahead and pimp that exclusive as much as possible.
Will do. But likewise, as everyone else, I got to thank you, Caesar. I've been jumping on these things with you since Comic Fanzine. And through now the second iteration and on to the third, I'll hopefully be jumping on every once in a while and hang with you guys again. Made some phenomenal relationships thanks to you. Trying to get one of the artists that I've become close with in for a signing at my shop soon. Not going to announce anything there until something is set in stone, but it's all because of these things. So again, I have my exclusives that are out right now. These Michael J. Fox books right here. And I have an exclusive coming out for Jake the Snake Roberts for our June 13th signing at Mid-Islands Collectibles. I'm Dorf Knight at Dorf Knight Comics, and dorfknightcomics.com is my website. My website is purely graded stuff. I have tons of stuff. I still have a ton of stuff that still has to go up, and I have more stuff coming in all the time. You can find me on Facebook, Dorf Knight Comics. I'm everywhere. These guys, Robert Olive and Efrain, I'm lucky to be a part of their group, Comic Book Buy Sell Trade. I've been a moderator there since they acquired the group. So you can find me on there also. I'm everywhere. I'm happy to help people hunt down books that they're looking for. I'm happy to help them find something they didn't know they were into. I definitely have some different kind of stuff. And I'm just happy to be a part of the community and be here with you guys. So if you're interested in the stuff I've got, if you want to see what other stuff I've got, hit me up. I'm happy to just shoot the shit too. I don't know how to shut up. So
We'll love it.
All right. Let's go with who wants to go first, Robert or Efren? Who's going to be the talker here?
After
Rob,
the
you
beat
pick.
talker.
You want me to be the talker? I'll be the talker.
Who? Oh, you, Efren. Okay, let's go ahead, man. Let's jump on that. All right.
So
Let's do it.
Efren is my real name. If you follow me on Whatnot, I'm Savage on Whatnot. My tagline: deals on deals on deals on deals, because I bring deals. I don't sell on retail. I sell on margins. So, which is why people come to my show and they get stuff super cheap and they're very happy and everybody's happy because I'm making money too. But we own cbbst.com. So that's where you can go to our website to catch stuff. Comic Book Buy Sell Trade on Facebook and on Instagram. It's Comic Book Buy Sell Trade, right? It's not CBBST on IG. So follow those for all of our updates. We have Up the Earth coming out. We have M1 Monster Racing League coming out. We have Exquisite Corpses 13 coming out. Something's Killing the Children 49 and 50 coming out. Absolute Batman 20 is live right now on our website. Absolute Batman 21 and 22 will be coming out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 300 will be coming out. There's also a reprint of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 1 Mirage magazine size. We got an exclusive for that coming out. I think that's it. We got a lot.
That's a lot. That's
Wow. Too, bro.
We got a lot coming out. And then we've recently started diving into One Piece and Pokemon. So
here we go.
Haven't listed any of that stuff out except for some packs on our website. But that's going to be another part of diversifying our venture. Our Archie, our Mario Galaxy Archies, our foils just came in. These are extremely beautiful, and we have not advertised these anywhere. So the only 3 or 4 people that have bought them at this point are from our VIP group. I think we might make a bigger announcement on stream tomorrow. If you are chasing the Red Roots series, that's dropping tomorrow. We have a bunch of those going to be on stream. Not to mention, I have at least 10 copies of Absolute Batman #1 first print that will be dropping on a seriously cheap flash sale tomorrow. You don't have to pay $200 on the aftermarket. Come to my stream and get it for a really decent price tomorrow. I can't think of anything else, Rob. What am I missing?
Just thank you for the support, guys. That's like
Yeah.
we couldn't do this without you guys.
This is not possible without the community. This is impossible without any of you guys. This is impossible without each other. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for bringing us on. Caesar, I love you to death. We've been friends since what, 19? So I can't believe that I didn't meet you until 24. So it should have been 23, but you had a heart attack in Dallas. So that you scared the shit out of me. Thank God you're still here. But thank you all. You guys,
all right.
amazing folks. And maybe we can trade some maps with Batman 20s. Diversify some of our portfolios on each side.
Oh, all right. Did you hear that, people? Dale, come on, say something.
What am I doing? I'm getting absolutely none. These guys got me going so hard in the paint. Like, there's literally, I think Rob said we're going to keep you busy was an understatement. Like, legitimately just books and books and books. I'll show you real quick.
Be very.
That's dope. Black stands.
He's like, I'll see
Oh God. Okay, hold on.
He's back.
Yeah, I'm back.
All right.
So, like, this is like legitimately my table. Like, legitimately, this is where I eat. I get a little space that I clear. Like, this is my studio. So,
well,
that is like, if I'm not drawing or doing something, it's with I'm with my kid, like, all the time. So we just got floor covers approved today. No, artwork.
So get back to work, Dale. So get back to work.
Pretty much. What do you think I'm doing? I'm sitting here and still working. I'm sitting here.
Yeah, that's Dale. Like I said, it's fun seeing you. It's fun seeing you, Dale, flourish in what you do and what you love to do. And I think about it to kind of end this. It's fun that we're all doing something here that we love. Every single one of us, whether it be exclusives, whether it be someone like myself and Dan, that we're just here to enjoy you guys. Ish, giving deals, Robin Hood of the fair market, and it's okay. I don't give a shit.
He's the Robin Hood of the fair market. He's kind of screwing people over.
Is that what it is? It's the unfair market.
Robin Hood of the unfair market.
He only says it every fucking 2 minutes. But that's on me. But it's fun, people. We're very privileged to we're very blessed to do what we love to do, and we're going to continue doing it. And like hopefully in 5 years, we're going to have the same panel, and we're going to talk about everything that's happened since the last time we were on. And we won't wait that long to have you guys on again. But the progression is fantastic to see, and it really warms the cockles of my heart to see my friends flourish, because I think that's the main goal, is to enjoy our friends' success. And no one should ever be jealous. Everyone should always be very happy for your friends' move and moving upwards and onwards. And I think that's where the direction we're going. That being said, the Real Dracula's Wolf podcast in May, you'll be seeing the flurry of stuff on Instagram and everything else.
Let Ish go.
Oh shit!
I don't get.
You know what?
Damn.
I forgot all about Ish. All right, Ish.
The invisible man.
Fuck, that's right, Ish.
Yo,
Ish isn't getting love.
Yo, first of all, I want to be very clear. I am not thanking Caesar, but this community that has been following for 4 or 5 years, y'all should be thanking Caesar. This is the end of a very, 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 very dope thing and the beginning of something even doper. Shout out to Del Guzman. Shout out to Cesar D. Morales for bringing so many people together every Tuesday night. constantly tapping people's phones, tapping people's messenger, tapping people's Instagram, and bringing together dope people like Efren. I met Efren. I had the pleasure of meeting Efren a few years back. Very dope person. Every time we've interacted, very awesome. And really, 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 really a strong personality in his comic industry. I see him online, see him in my group, see him in his group. I had at one point in time had been very discontent with that particular group, and now it is in good hands. So I'm really happy that I've been watching, and I'm really happy that you guys are running it. Really, really happy because I mean, it's in really good hands. Make sure y'all go check out their exclusives. Before I sign off on the Comic Menu podcast and say goodbye to it, say farewell, make sure y'all go check out Efren and Robert's exclusive. Make sure y'all go check out Superior Stand. Check out Dale Altman out of Buffalo, New York. He's been doing dope exclusives. I remember Dale Altman was doing, Vampirella photograph covers back. I remember, bro. I remember, bro. Doing Vampirella. We kind of did some stuff together with the Something That's Killing the Children poster.
Yeah.
Listen, man, Dale's been doing his thing out of Western New York for a long time. So Dale rolling with Efren and rolling with Robert. Make sure y'all I'm sure you are checking them out, but man, check them out. Follow their social medias. Follow their Instagram. Dan, the man, one of the greatest people you can ever know in this comic community. Such a great heart, such a brilliant mind, reviewing stuff every week, chilling with the comic book underground. Dan will just reach out to you. He'll just send you stuff. You'll just get stuff in the mail and out of nowhere. Dan is just really, really that guy. Comic Sam pumping out a bunch of exclusives. I don't think I know anyone who has a better mind for comics, for speculation, for understanding the medium than Dan and the things that Dan brings to the table. And then my man
Sam.
Those exclusives, bruh. Listen, Comic Sam, check out his Whatnot streams. Check out his Instagram. Seriously, Comic Sam. Find him on Facebook. Find him on Instagram. He just did an Invincible stream. He did one from my shop, and then he did one a week later. Will blow your mind. Listen, I don't know where he gets his volume of comic books from. I don't know how. I don't know where. We got a guy named Noodles that maybe, that maybe Sam politics with. I know you know Noodles there. We got this guy named Noodles. He's always got comics inside of his trench coat. I don't know, but Sam comes up with them. Seriously, Sam comes up with them. Listen. Yo, I'm serious, man. It's no joke. We'll talk about that offline. The Dwarf Knight. I've watched this guy grow, and I can tell you it's a pleasure, and I mean that. Like, I've watched Dwarf Knight from being a panelist who could just find you any comic book you're looking for to building his own business, and seemingly flourishing. He's on this stream with a bunch of people who have experience doing exclusive covers, and he's got a really dope exclusive cover. So please go check that out. And while you're checking that out, go over to the YouTube channel right now, because Caesar's been bringing you this content for 4 or 5 years. Go over to the YouTube channel, click on the video for 3 seconds, give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down. Don't do anything. Do something. Don't do nothing. I mean, do something. Do something. That having been said, and before I give Caesar his flowers, I got to tell you, my name is Issue X, and I am that dude. I am the Robin Hood of the unfair market. I represent Comic Sense, COMIXSENSE on Facebook, on Instagram. We drop exclusive covers. We give people the best value anywhere, period, point, and blank. Full-fledged middle finger, all of the smoke. We want war, and we have been bringing war to the unfair market since 2021 until my man, Caesar D. Morales, the godfather of this comic shit. And I mean that. He is the godfather of this comic shit, probably the most personable, most likable dude in this entire medium. I don't think anybody else, he calls me his brother from another mother. This is the truth. I don't think anybody else, I haven't seen anyone else that has the cachet, that has the ability to bring, I mean, we done had Ivan Tao. We done had Efren Centrone. We done had Jay from the Superior Stands. We've had local indie creators with Kickstarters. We've had people from all walks of life. We got me. I'm from Ken Bailey. I'm from the hood. We done had people from all walks of life, politic, commune, break bread in this medium. I'm so happy to be a part of it. I'm happy that it's going to be progressing into the Real Dracula's Wolf podcast. Make sure y'all follow that. That show is going to be fire. It's going to be fire because Caesar's going to be involved. That is what it is. That's all I got to say.
Well, listen, you guys are truly kind, and like I said, go find me on Instagram. I also built and
Robert sends me shit.
And Robert, yeah. Speaking of, and we talked about, superior stand. You want a green to go with your. Look at that green.
I meant to talk about the Superior Stand. I did
Black.
a video for y'all because y'all are fire, and I really appreciate that. You know, I use your Superior Stands every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my hashtag All of the Spec live stream.
Bro.
I use the Superior Stand.
Look
Yeah,
at that, man. That
Yeah.
stuff works out great. You want blue with your Brave and the Bold. You got your yellow with your Daredevil. This shit pops. Go get the.
Look at Caesar showing the stands while he's
He's showing off
flexing.
the books. He's showing off the books.
Yeah,
Let me
show
tell you
those
how this works.
books off.
I was
Flexing.
on a show with Jay. And I told Jay that I wanted to, obviously I really believe in the community, helping the community, and that I wanted to get some Superior Stands. And he's like, all right, I'll send you some. And I'm like, well, I'll buy some. And he goes, okay, well, whatever you buy, I'll match. The next day, I get a message on Instagram from Robert. He's like, hey, I'm supposed to be sending you some Superior Stands. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, that's how on it they are. It was like that, like the next day. So then I did a video because I was really appreciative of it, man. They're on point. So there's that.
All right, guys. Well, that's it. We're gonna be signing off. We'll see you in May on the new podcast. I'll show you how to get there and all that. Make sure you go follow the channel. Go follow I created the Real Dracula's Wolf podcast Instagram page. I'll be dropping all clips on that show on there. Let's do this, man. Fuck it.
Caesar.
Two tears in a
My
bucket.
man.
Fuck it. Take it to the stage, my motherfuckers. Here we go. All right, guys.
Farewell to this podcast.
Peace out, guys.